Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. One of the biggest stories for sure of the last 3 months, if not the last 3 years. The New York Times has obtained Donald Trump's tax return data extending over more than 2 decades. The contents of the tax information is absolutely stunning. Is it devastating to Trump? I don't know. I don't know that his followers care about anything at this point. We will talk about that. But this is much of, but not all, much of what many have been waiting for years. Donald Trump's tax returns, which he said in 2015, once he's no longer under audit, he would release. Whatever happened to that? We know that he was just lying. Well, they are now out. Some of the revelations include Donald Trump paid a total of $750 in federal income taxes the year that he won the presidency. $750 total. In his first year in the White House, his total federal tax payments were $750. He paid no federal income taxes at all in 10 of the previous 15 years. None. How much did you pay? How much did I pay? If I showed you the amount of federal tax I paid and the amount Trump paid, you would assume I made way more money than Donald Trump in these years. This entire decade-long audit battle with the Internal Revenue Service has been exposed as being over the legitimacy of a nearly $73 million tax refund that Donald Trump claimed. Understand that. Donald Trump filed taxes claiming he was entitled to $72.9 million of a tax refund. He received that tax refund, and that is now being investigated. Donald Trump may have stolen $73 million from you, from me, from whoever else actually paid taxes. And if indeed that was an inappropriate refund that he claimed, he may be on the hook for $100 million once you account for the fees and fines. On top of all of this, the documents do confirm that Donald Trump has been overstating his business strength. In 2018, as an example, Donald Trump disclosed in a financial disclosure, which is not a legal document, that he made $435 million. The tax records say he lost $47 million. Now, of course, if you want to seem rich but save on taxes, you would disclose a lot of money and you would argue for tax purposes you lost money. This is a gap of more than $500 million, and it is connected to all of these other very clear instances of Donald Trump claiming that people need to pay their fair share. Donald Trump's tweets about half of Americans pay no federal tax because they don't produce anything. Trump's the one barely paying federal taxes. Every single thing we thought Trump might be hiding, he's hiding. We said, Trump might be hiding that he's paying very little in taxes despite being a super rich dude. That is exactly right. We said, Trump might be hiding that his businesses aren't really doing so well. He's not as wealthy as he wants people to think. And that is exactly right. We said he might owe people a ton of money, making him a good target. And that is exactly right. The documents that the New York Times has obtained show that Donald Trump has $300 million in loans, which he is personally responsible for. They come due in the next few years. If Trump is reelected, we will have a president who owes $300 million and has to start paying it back during his second term. And in total, $421 million in debt is Donald Trump. To whom does he owe that money? That's a real question. That's always, by the way, Josh Campbell, former FBI agent, said, when you vet people for federal government jobs, if they have a lot of debt, that is a red flag because it makes them potentially vulnerable to being pressured because of those debts that they have. Look at what Donald Trump owes. And then, as always with Donald Trump, there's a tweet for everything. Donald Trump tweeting in 2012 that, quote, Barack Obama, who wants to raise all our taxes, only pays 20.5% on a $790,000 salary. Do as I say, not as I do. Pays 20%. Trump paid $0 in 10 of the last 15 years. Now, the important question in the end, because we're 40 days from an election, we are 5 weeks from an election. The question in the end is, does this make a difference? Will this influence voters? I don't know that it will. This obviously runs completely counter to what Donald Trump ran on. Donald Trump ran on, I'm for the middle class. Donald Trump ran on, I'm from personal responsibility. We have too many people who pay no taxes, blah, 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 blah. Remember that during the 2016 election, when the narrative was, it takes someone to know how to play the game in order to fix it for everybody. That's what Trump ran on. Okay, yeah, listen, maybe I know how to play the game, so I'm going to fix it. Didn't quite pan out, did it? Who would have thought that a giant beneficiary of the system might want to maintain it? Obviously, as we've been saying. And yet, so many people are worse off economically now than they were when Donald Trump took office. And Trump's the one paying $750 in federal taxes. The people who will be appalled by this, though, they're already not voting for Donald Trump. I was already getting tweets yesterday from people saying, dude, this is why Trump's so smart. He hasn't paid taxes in years legally. Or, hey, listen, Trump's businesses lost money some years. So those years he shouldn't be paying taxes. And what's hilariously hypocritical about these overlapping rebuttals is that you've got the same people who are saying, hey, listen, if Trump's businesses lost money, he shouldn't be paying taxes. Those are the same people who say Trump's a business genius. Well, hold on a second. Which one is it? Which one is it? So in the end, I don't know if this is going to move the needle. It only needs to move the needle a little bit. If this story gets a few people to vote who weren't going to, it could be so close in some key states that it might actually make a difference in the end. Now, on the back end of this story, there is an even bigger story. There's a systemic story here, which is much bigger than Trump. And I think that for the next 40 days, the story is Trump and his taxes. In 41 days, assuming Joe Biden wins, the story here is we have a tax system set up to help the really wealthy avoid paying taxes in mostly legal ways. Although, again, Donald Trump may have taken a $73 million refund that he didn't actually deserve. So this is about Donald Trump, but it's also about systemic abuse. It's about how Warren Buffett has famously pointed out that there are years where his effective tax rate was lower than his secretary's. If I recall correctly, I'm going from memory, Warren Buffett, a turbo billionaire, Warren Buffett once said that there was a year where his effective tax rate was like 17% and his secretary's was 21%. That's really the big story here beyond Donald Trump. We're going to have plenty of time to deal with that story. But for the next 40 days, does this hurt Trump? Let me know what you think. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pakman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver. And here's how it works. It takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft. And it's free. There's no catch whatsoever. But if you want, Privacy also offers a $10 a month plan that gives you 1% cash back and lets you create 36 credit cards a month, and a $25 a month plan tailored more for small businesses where you can create 60 card numbers a month and much more. But definitely go ahead and at least get started with the free plan. You'll protect your financial info. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pakman.